In 1953, before the time of jet travel and multi-lane freeways, traveling cross-country was of a more leisure pace. Here we find the two-lane Florida Keys Bridge, an intro to a glimpse of the state, without Epcot Center, for example. Marine-type shows were popular even then, and not much thought apparently was given to the negative aspects of keeping these fun-loving animals in an oversized bathtub to perform for us. At least the birds seem to be enjoying a more natural habitat. No, these aren't plastic yard ornaments, but the real thing. The main attractions then, as now, are the beaches. Miles of clean sand afford and sustain year-around swimming along Miami and Miami Beach. Even in the 50s, if the hotels here are more than a few years old, they are obsolete. But the price was right, and the accommodation's not all that bad. But let's go inland a little, towards Central Florida. Here we see one of the state's marvels, the Bach Singing Tower, where beautiful melodies are played on chimes heard miles around. It is still chiming away today. One of the biggest attractions of the state then and now is Cypress Gardens. Here we find a touch of the Old South in beautiful, well-kept gardens and lawns. One section of the area is kept in its natural state to give us a little glimpse of how the area looked before the advent of the white man. But now the time has come to dash off the lawn for the dressing room, a quick change of costume, and on to the stage for the greatest show on water, the Cypress Gardens Aqua Show, performed daily. No Disney World or Epcot yet, so this is billed as Florida's first theme park. Must be a backwards student. She just can't seem to get turned around. The girls do a bit of posing after the show for the shutterbugs. Traveling north, we enter the area of the Great Smokies of North Carolina and Tennessee. Here is a thickly wooded area in which it is difficult to get out of hearing of many fast streams and tumbling waterfalls. The Smoky Mountains range, much of which is protected by the Smoky Mountains National Park, is aptly named. There is almost a constant blue haze, giving it an appearance of distant smoke. All this water pouring down the hills, and not a drop out of the fountain. Newfound gap on the skyline or backbone of the range. We are standing in Tennessee, looking into North Carolina. The parking lot is half in one state, half in the other. Along this skyline, or top ridge of the Smokies, runs the Appalachian Trail, of well over 1,000 miles in length, covering several states. This is the oldest used official trail in the United States. Here you get away from the hurrying of the drive, the hustle and bustle of civilization, and relax in the quiet solitude of nature, just as she was in ages past. Yes, the land of the Great Smokies is surely a land where a person could spend days on end, at peace with the world. But we move on into Kentucky and a landmark of the plantation south. Here at White Springs, we find a replica of the old Southern mansion in the Stephen Foster Memorial Home. Inside, again in 1953, are arranged in miniature scenes the composer might have had in mind as he penned his works. And here is the Swanee River as it looks in the 1950s. Not much change from the days of old. Another river, further north in Kentucky. Well, I know 1953 was not a year of expressways and freeways, but even then this was a rather unusual way to get across a river. Better keep an eye out for those Hatfields and McCoys. Here we go underground at Mammoth Cave, containing some of the largest caverns in the United States. A little idea of that size is given by the fact of this large dining room, located in just one of the hundreds of rooms of the caverns. Clear Crystal Lake. To get down to it, you go down a long winding stairway, get in a boat, row around, get out, and come back up the same stairway. No other way in or out. Echo River. Available only in the dry season. Other times it is full from floor to ceiling. Oh, by the way, fish do live here. Completely blind fish. Hindu Temple. Frozen Niagara. Mammoth Cave. A landmark of the ages, no different today from 1953.